Welcome America, welcome Taylor Swift, and welcome India to Studio 202 recording live. We are going to continue on with the slides today, and we are going to learn one additional concept that builds on the Pythagorean Theorem. So we know the Pythagorean Theorem, when we're given the lengths of two sides of a right triangle, we're asked to find the third side. We can plug it into our formula, c squared equals a squared plus b squared, and we can see if c squared equals a squared plus b squared, and then we know it's a right triangle. Sometimes, if we have a triangle that's not right, where the angle is greater than 90, so it's an obtuse triangle, or that angle is less than 90, so it's an acute triangle, we can compare the areas, c squared and a squared plus b squared, and see if c squared is greater than a squared plus b squared, or if it's less than a squared plus b squared. And then we can determine what kind of triangle it is. So here is the summary right here. Now there's a lot going on here. But what this says is if a squared plus b squared, if these two areas, right, that area plus that area, when you add those up, if it equals this area, then you've got yourselves a right triangle, okay? However, if I take that right angle and I make it bigger and keep the lengths of these sides the same, these areas stay the same. So this area is the same as the previous triangle, and this area is the same. However, the area of the hypotenuse squared is bigger right now. We just lengthened, we just made this angle bigger, and we learned in, what unit was that? No, not 2, I think it was 5. The length of the side opposite this angle, if this angle, as this angle gets bigger, the length of the side opposite it also gets bigger, which makes this area bigger. So if the area of c squared is greater than a squared plus b squared, we've got ourselves an obtuse triangle. However, if I take that 90-degree angle and I make it smaller, then the area of c squared is going to be smaller than a squared plus b squared. And that gives us an acute triangle. So this is why I've been having you guys write c squared first. Instead of a squared plus b squared equals c squared, writing the c squared first. This way you can see that if c squared is greater than, it's bigger, then it's obtuse, big. And if c squared is less than, then it's smaller, it's acute. So these are what your problems are going to look like right here. They'll give you lengths of three side lengths, and they'll say, is it acute, right, or obtuse? The first thing you have to do is you have to check to make sure that these three lengths can even form a triangle. Once you can figure out if they can form a triangle first, then you can tell what kind of triangle it is. So we learned that back in also Unit 5. We take the two shorter lengths and we add them up and make sure they're greater than the third side. So in this problem, the two shorter lengths are 26 and 35. Is 26 plus 35 greater than 62? Yes or no? No. Oh my gosh, it's not. So that means this is not even going to make a triangle. So we're not going to say it's acute, right, or obtuse because it's not even a triangle. So I'm going to put a big mark through that, and then I'm just going to write not a triangle. Done. It's a lot less work when there's no triangle. No work. Who loves work? Those buses are loud. Y'all, it is the last day of second quarter. It is the end of the semester. It's weird. This year's gone fast. Okay, can I erase this? All right, next one. Two shortest sides are 18 and 14. Are 18 plus 14, is that greater than 29? Yes, that makes a triangle. Now, what kind of triangle? So we're going to do c squared. Is it greater than, less than, or equal to a squared plus b squared? How are we going to figure out what side is c? That's right, the longest side. Is that what you're gonna say, Ryan?
Yeah.
The longest side is C. So the longest side here is 29. So I'm gonna put the 29 in here. And then the other two numbers, it doesn't really matter. I'll put the 18 here and I'll put the 14 here. Now, on your calculator, type this in, see what that is equal to. Type this in, see what that's equal to. What numbers do you get? What's 29 squared?
841.
841. What's 18 squared plus 14 squared? 520. Uh-oh, those aren't equal. 841 is greater than 520, which tells us what kind of triangle is this? Obtuse. That's it. That's all there is to these types of problems. Anyone still writing? I went back and I was watching some of my videos and I said, I welcomed Justin Bieber and no one corrected me. I was disappointed in myself. All right, I'm gonna race. Good? Unless someone stops me. I think we have one more, or maybe two, I don't know. Acute, right, or obtuse. So first, let's check and make sure it even forms a triangle. Does 30 plus 72, is that greater than 78?
Yes.
Yes, makes a triangle. So C has to be the longest side, 78. Is 78 squared greater than, less than, or equal to 30 squared plus 72 squared? So give me these numbers. What's 78 squared?
6,084.
Okay, good. What's 30 squared plus 72 squared?
Same thing.
Oh, really? Okay, so C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So what does that tell us?
It's a right triangle.
Right triangle. Maybe we have one more example that's acute. I don't remember. Anyone still writing? Okay, I'm erasing. And no, we don't. This is the example. I just want to show you real quick before I hang up. America, India, Taylor Swift. That if you put, in these examples here, if you put A squared plus B squared first, rather than C squared, okay, you'll get the numbers, and everything is fine, and it's perfectly fine to do this, but you'll get them in the different order. So this one, if you had done it the way that I asked with C squared first, it would be 12 squared, is that greater than, less than, or equal to 4 squared plus 9 squared? And then you get the 144 over here and the 97 over here, and you can see it's greater than. You think greater than, you know it's obtuse. Here, the numbers are switched around, and you have to remember that it's less than, but it's an obtuse triangle. So that's why I think it's easier and less mistakes are made if you write the C squared first. So that's the reason why. Anyway, that's it. Peace out. Happy Friday.